Hey everyone, it's Kim Brown Jefferson, and today is my very first Facebook Live, so I'm really excited to be doing this. And today I want to talk about weekends. Here it is, it's Friday, and so many times, when we're living a healthy lifestyle, so many people say to me, I'm great until Friday at 5 o'clock, and then I'm amazing Monday at 9 a.m. And what happens in that 48 hours that we call the weekend? And I know for a lot of people, our schedules aren't the same. We go to work and we're pretty much on a regimented schedule, and the refrigerator's not just sitting there, or our cupboards aren't just sitting there asking us to go in there and find food. And so I just want to give you a few tips on how do you survive the weekend and still have, not wake up on Monday being like, oh, why did I eat that? Why did I do that? So here are a couple tips. The weekend doesn't have to be a binge fest. And so I know for me, my Friday night is me catching up on my TV shows that I didn't get to watch over the week. And so I know for a lot of people, you want to put your hand into something, and I say don't do that. Fill up on a nice protein-based meal before you go into your Friday night binge fest. And so that could be anything, or Friday could be what you have as your fun meal. For me, our Friday night meal is sushi or Chinese food. That's our Friday fun meal, and we eat that meal while we watch our TV. So you don't have to go into this binge of eating chips and all that other stuff. Find a fun food that you like, and that's what you're having while you have a fun Friday night. And when it comes to weekends, schedule fitness activities. So if you're catching up with friends, yeah, it's great to catch up with friends over food, but what if you grabbed a yoga class, or now that it's getting a little nicer out, even though we're supposed to get snow this weekend, go figure, you can go out there and you could go for a nice long walk. Go to a yoga class, just go to the gym together. Do something that isn't exactly all about, food. And if you do have food things, I know we have family events, we have other events that happen on the weekend. I'm all about, you can still live a healthy lifestyle and not be, that girl who's carrying around a jug of water and eating out of Tupperware all the time. My biggest thing is, when you go out to these events, you go good, better, best. And what's the best thing on the menu, what's a good thing on the menu, and what's the better thing on the menu. And that way you're able to still go out and have a good time and still have fun foods and not feel guilty about being that person who's sitting in the corner eating carrot sticks and drinking water. And when it comes to alcohol, alcohol isn't exactly on the healthy path. But life would suck without some good vino and a nice margarita. So I always tell people, alternate. So have a glass of wine or whatever your poison is, and then have some seltzer or have some water, so that you're going back and forth between the two, so that you're not sitting there, boozing it up and just slamming down these empty calories, but you're also staying nice and hydrated. And when you're staying nice and hydrated, you're not seeking out food alternatives, so you're enjoying yourself. And the other thing I look at for weekends is for me, I map out my week. And, sometimes, your week doesn't go how you plan. So what I always focus on is, if my week didn't go as planned, what I'll do is say, okay, well, I wasn't able to work out on Monday or Tuesday because life happened, but I'm going to make it happen on Saturday and Sunday. Now, I'm not saying that you can make it up, because there are no real makeups, but I know that I typically don't plan workouts on Saturday and Sundays, because I know that that's my spillover. When something happens during the week that I'm unable to get my workout in, I'm like, okay, Saturday morning, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do my workout before I start the rest of my day. And so that way, I don't feel like, oh, I gotta cram it all in and do it all during the week. Sometimes it just spills over into the weekend, and it's okay that you miss a workout during the week. Or maybe you say, you know what, I want to sleep in. I work out in the morning. And so maybe I said, I want to sleep in, so I'm going to work out on Saturday and Sunday. And that's completely fine. One of the other challenges that I find Thanks, Caitlin. I love you so much. You also give awesome advice about makeup. So if you ever need if you ever need any type of makeup, you got to see my girl Caitlin McDonald, because she does an amazing job. I'm so glad to see Maureen. I went to high school with her, and her sister was my cheerleading coach. So it's so nice to see that she is on. And Angie Palangi, I love her just because her name rhymes. She's getting married, and she better not change her name. Angie Palangi is just too awesome. Back to you guys. And so the last thing I want to bring home to you guys is about grazing. When we're home, it's so easy to be bored. And then all of a sudden we're wandering around, and then we're popping this into our mouth, we're drinking this, and we're standing in front of the refrigerator looking at what we can eat. And then next thing you know, you're like, how did I eat all this stuff? So I always say to people, go into your refrigerator with a plan. Pick instead of just walking in and being like, well, let's see what we have in the refrigerator. You know what you have in the refrigerator. You know what you have in your cupboard. So go in there with a plan. I'm a big fan of, if I don't know what I want to eat, I will brew tea. I will sit there and I will wait for the tea to brew. And I always like to have fun tea flavors, and there's so many amazing tea flavors. And I think if I buy another flavor of tea, my husband might divorce me. Or spice. Those are the two things that I think he's just like, seriously, we need another spice, we need a hole in our head. But I love tea, and there's so many great flavors. Don't get me into Teavana, because if I'm in Teavana, ooh, I think I'm gonna spend my paycheck there. But I like to brew tea, and I brew a big pot in the morning, and that way when I go into the kitchen and I'm gonna start my rummaging through my cupboards, I will immediately go to the tea. And usually the tea I have in fun flavors, Teavana had pumpkin tea during the fall. They have a great passion tea. So if you're, depending on what your sweet tooth is, you'll be able to find a way to have. I know, Caitlin, exactly. I have to sprint past it at the mall. Don't you dare have a free tasting, because I'm gonna taste and then I'm gonna buy. They know how to get you. So I always encourage you to just make a big vat of tea, and that way it's always there. You're drinking it, and then drinking makes you feel full, and then you don't think about having, munching on something senseless. My last tip for you guys is, I know for me, I'm always running. I run errands on Saturday, and so it's so easy to think, oh, I'm just gonna be gone for 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden you're gone, and then you're gone for 4 hours. You're starving. You want to come home. You can eat your arm. That's how hungry you are. I always say, throw a snack in your bag. Throw something. Throw a protein bar in your bag. Throw a piece of fruit in your bag. Throw some type of snack in your bag, because that way, if you do get caught up in your errands, you aren't tempted to just eat anything. Because when you get over hungry, you're just dirty word, fuck it, I'm gonna have whatever I want. I'm just gonna eat because I'm starving, and then you're just shoving shit in your mouth that you don't even know what happened. And so I totally encourage you, have a snack somewhere. My husband, before we leave the house for an errand, he's like, do you have snacks? He won't even leave the house with me without snacks, because if I don't get snacks, hangry doesn't describe it. I'm just a full-on bitch. Just there's a dictionary, there's my picture with a sign underneath it. So that's all I have. This is literally every day for the next 30 days, I'm going to be live at 4 o'clock. I would love to hear anything you want to talk about, because I can talk about pretty much anything. I'm so psyched. I got Nellie on the line, and she's talking about love brewing tea or coffee. I got my girl Joan. You know how I feel about you, girl. And she's going to be doing a new fitness competition in June. So anything you guys want to talk about, just leave me a post on my wall. And I so enjoyed all of you guys being on, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Talk soon.